Counterpunch. I can hear the words that Cole just said. There's a recording of them playing over and over in my brain. But they don't make sense. He's staring at me, waiting for a response. You knew I was a hostage? He nods. It was my idea. My gaze drifts past him. The rows of weapons stretch into infinity. I can't breathe. Your father's a monster, Cole says. He would always be a danger to our city, but we wondered if you, his heir, might be different. I'm not the heir, I manage. She is. Of course, but we thought we were getting the real Rafi, so we decided to learn all about her. He leans back as he continues, and I realize something awful. He's using his tour guide voice. When we started negotiations with your father, we sent newsfeed cams to cover your city, but they were really remote polygraphs. There to spy on Rafia. Whenever either of you appeared in public, they measured your pulse, blood pressure, galvanic response. I stare at him, feeling like my skin is being stripped away. At the same time, he says, we did a psychoanalysis of every recording we could ever find. Back to when you were littly, studied your eye movements, micro-gestures, vocal intonations. I shake my head. What did all of that tell you? That you started to break when you were 7. 7, my voice fades, when I started training. Exactly. What do you mean by break? Sometimes you are confident, certain of yourself. Other times you act like someone overwhelmed by ongoing trauma. Our psych team assumed a split was forming in your personality. It never occurred to them that you were actually 2 people. A sane one and a crazy one. I close my fists to keep my hands from shaking. That's not a useful way to talk, Frey. Really? I can't look at him? What would you call it? What they did to you was brutal. The broken bones, having to hide all those years, having no friends, and him as a father. So it's not just the bones. I'm broken too. Cole takes my hand, sews it open. Frey, you're the healthy one. I stare at him. What? When your team explained the psychic break, they focused on something called foreign language anxiety. People who speak a second tongue, even fluently, have hitches in their grammar when they're anxious or when they're falling apart inside. When Rafia speaks French, she gives herself away. I start to say that it's impossible. Rafi's the confident one, brash and imperious, but then I hear her voice in my head. This isn't normal. What if she didn't mean me? This is what I think, Cole says. She had to watch it all happen, you being brutalized, hidden away. She couldn't protect you, her own sister. No, it's my job to protect her. Exactly. You had a purpose, Frey. When the assassin tried to kill Rafia, you could save her, he looks away, but she could never save you. My mind rushes back to that day. What Rafia said to me later. I just sat there screaming, the whole time, just not out loud. I turned to Cole, a rush of anger coming over me. So you knew Rafia was sick and you thought it was okay to keep her as a hostage? To get her away from him, to show her what it's like to live with a real family in a normal city. Cole spreads his hands. Your father can't live forever, and she's his heir. We thought if I could make an alliance with Rafia, we could change Shreve someday without a war. An alliance? My heart beats sideways once. Your grandmother, I say, that first day when she told you to give me a tour, he looks down at the ground. Abuela was never particularly subtle. And the story about your hunting bow? A way to get you down to the monastery where you'd feel safe talking to me, where I could make friends with you. Something hard is pulsing in my throat. I can't breathe. He's the first person I've ever kissed, and he was faking it? Cole takes both my hands now. But you really were different from what I expected, Frey. I just didn't know why. I pull away and stand up too fast. My head spins and I reach out to steady myself. My hand brushes one of the plastic cases full of death. He's still talking. When I kissed you, it was real. It doesn't matter what he says now. His mother, his grandmother, they were conspiring with Cole the whole time, laughing behind my back when I thought he was really my friend. I'm a freak from a family of freaks. I only have one purpose in this world. I have to go home. My sister is hurting and I need to save her. My head is still spinning as I weave down the aisle, shelves full of weaponry on either side. Cole's calling after me, but I don't dare and I can't trust him. My feet hit the ladder. It wobbles under my weight as I haul myself up toward the smells of forest and life. I have to get back to Shrev now. My sister has no one but me, and she thinks I'm dead. Frey, Cole calls from below. Telling him my name was a mistake. Giving up my sister, my home, for him was madness. I pull myself up and out through the door, sucking in fresh air. Dark branches crisscross the sky. Don't move, comes a voice from the trees. We don't want to hurt you, but we will if we have to.